How long ago did you buy your house?
3 years.
So you've owned your home 3 years. Would you say that your home has appreciated in value?
It has added $100,000 to my net worth in 3 years.
Folks.
Hello and welcome to XYZ Money Masters. Today we're going to do a little bit of a market update. And the idea, Jeff doesn't even know what's really going on just yet. He knows the market much better than I do. But we started off and we kind of wanted a conversation about how this video is going to go. And I think that the main thing that I'm going to try to get across is simply we don't know when interest rates are going to go down. We all have a high suspicion that they will be going down in the near future. And within a year is my expectation. However, the housing prices, whenever that happens, typically follow suit in the opposite direction. Money becomes much easier to borrow. More people can afford more of a home. You can finally get that house that was just out of your reach when that interest rate goes down. So I want the message to you as a Las Vegan, as an American. Now is the time to start really thinking about buying before those interest rates hit the bottom. If we hit a 5% interest rate, everybody is going to jump into the market. There's going to be over asking price offers. You're not going to be able to get seller concessions. You're not going to be able to get that closing cost. It's just going to be a mad dash for the finish line for everybody. So before that really happens, I think it's a good idea to start finding yourself in a situation of seeing how much you can afford, if there's an appropriate home for your budget out there, and really starting to understand the idea of how the market can be a good thing that the interest rates are high. It can be a good thing for you because as of right now, I did a TikTok video yesterday stating that we talked the seller down $25,000, which in the grand scheme of things, if you're talking about a $400,000 or $800,000 house, isn't terribly much. This was a $190,000 property that we talked the seller down $25,000, which turns out to be 15 to 17% of the purchase price.
Wow.
You can do that right now. So you can't do that whenever there's 3 buyers behind you. Right now, there's not 3 buyers behind you. Use that to your advantage.
Yeah, there will be soon. There will be soon.
It's coming.
And I don't think that makes me any smarter than the average bear, but I have one advantage over so many of the people that you are watching on YouTube, TikTok, and other social media channels, and that is my boots are on the ground. I'm on the ground in Las Vegas with those degrees in my background. And if you go to my TikTok channel, again, Dwell in Vegas, if you go to that TikTok channel and you scroll down in my videos, you will see that for the last 4 years, I've been producing videos screaming at the top of my lungs, Devin, that's even the headline of one, screaming at the top of my lungs, listen to me, we are not in a recession, we are not going in a recession. I've been saying that for going all the way back to when COVID began. Folks, there are no signs of a recession presently, and there are no signs of a recession coming. In fact, it's the opposite. We are going to head into an environment over the next 2 to 3 years that's going to separate the wheat from the chaff. Is that how that saying goes?
Yeah.
You are either going to buy a house, you're either going to stretch and buy that house right now, or you are going to be renting or staying where you are for years to come, unless you get some dramatic increase in your compensation or net worth or something like that. Because folks, it is as obvious as the sun shining out today that we do not have enough homes built in the United States of America. Let me say that differently. Built in cities where you want to live in the United States of America. There are plenty of homes available in some parts of this country, but we can speak about Las Vegas, Southern Nevada, really, we should say. Okay, so here's the point of it. The point of it is we haven't been in a recession. We're not in a recession. We're not going into a recession, but we have the national media that has been telling us the opposite of that the entire time. And so if you've listened to the national media, then you have missed out on the opportunity to really secure the home of your dreams. Now, here's the good news. You still got about 45 to 60 days. Yeah, I'm going to be that exact with it because here's what's going to happen, okay? We have no inventory. We have no inventory. I'm talking about a month to 2 months of standard people moving to Vegas. We can accommodate with housing and then we're out. And here's the part nobody's telling you. When you actually look at what's on the market, it's every ugly duckling house you can possibly think of that the owner couldn't sell when times were reasonable. And now they're looking around and they're like, well, there are no homes in my neighborhood on the market. Let me throw my house on the market at top dollar, by the way, right? Bottom line is this: we don't have inventory. And when buyers come back into the market, as Devin has indicated in his videos, folks, it's going to be a zoo. You are going to have money just being thrown at sellers to be able to buy their home. Because at the end of the day, Devin, you have people that would like to change their home. And then you have people that have to. Yeah. Relocation due to their job, upsizing, downsizing, divorce, new kids, whatever the reason might be, there are people that have to change the residence that they live in. These are needs, not wants, okay? So imagine we have all this pent up need that isn't being met, and we got a whole bunch want over here, but they aren't going to do anything because they're not sure what to do. Imagine when all of these come back into the market, there's no inventory, and you are going to see lines to view houses, and it's going to become a complete and total seller's market. And the good news is you got a window. Devin is right. If you are not pre-approved with your lender, if you are not out home hunting in this environment right now, you are making a serious mistake. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you that if you don't do it quick, you're probably going to be delaying that move into that home you've always wanted for 3 to 5 years, because you're going to have to wait for what is now being predicted a 20% run up in prices. And you're going to have to wait for that to cycle up, sideways, and down. And the standard business cycle in the world is 5 years. So if we are about to begin this, it's going to be 5 years before it's this. That's the standard cycle. Are you going to miss it? My suggestion is get on the phone to your lender, get on the phone to your realtor, and get out into the market this weekend, or you're going to regret it.
You know, hindsight is always 2020. So looking back at 2020, everybody kind of thought the market was going to go crazy. We had some wild, outlandish things that had never happened to us before, and it's a little scary. Right now, we're having something that's never happened to us before either, and that's the highest that the Federal Reserve has ever pumped up the interest rates in a single time period. And the interest rates are high, and people get scared of the overall payment. But as I said in another video I made on TikTok, that you can change that interest rate. You know what you can't change after you purchase a home? The purchase price.
That's a great point.
So it comes down to marry the price, date the rate, and love the house. Because let me share with you a couple of statistics.
Wait, say that one again.
Marry the house, marry the price, date the rate, and love the house.
I love that.
That's
good advice.
You have to figure out what you need. Find a house that doesn't have perfectly painted walls, or needs new flooring. And as you live in that home, you can slowly start to make it that perfect home that you have. And then when prices go up 20%, guess what? You just got 20% equity. That's what I'm trying to help you all understand right now, is you can sacrifice having a little bit of a better house that you could afford with a 5% interest rate. But when that 5% interest rate comes around, there's going to be 3 other people trying to buy that house right from and under you. And chances are they will. So what I'm trying to do is put you into a home and have you build equity over the period of time that interest rates are still high. Then, and if you, with certain lenders, you can refinance for free. They do an offer right now. You can refinance within 5 years for free. And let me tell you, I'll put my name on it. Within 5 years, we will see a 5% interest rate again. It's going to happen. So don't be afraid of that. And then you can experience that 20% run up in price and put that money in your pocket and prepare for the next storm or whatever the case may be, and build some real net worth and have something to leave to your children, or have something you don't have to move or renegotiate every year.
Let me underline that point that Devin just made real quick before you keep on.
Absolutely.
So let's say you buy a house. Let's say you buy a house for $500,000 today. and we're right. And by the way, it's not Devin and I that need to be right. We're consuming massive amounts of data on the economy and real estate constantly from a lot of different sources. I tend to read even radical sources because I want to understand different perspectives. Right. So let me underline what Devin just said. You go into the market today and you buy a house at $500,000. Let's say that we're right, and in the next year that home goes up. Let's say 2 years. Let's be a little bit more grounded with this. Let's say in 2 years that house goes up 20% in value. You've created $100,000 in equity in your home. Now you can go to any bank, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, et cetera, and get a home equity line of credit, and they will lend you 70% of your equity in your home, which means you've appreciated 100, you borrow 70 back. Home equity line of credit rates are pretty good, and there's some tax benefits to doing that way for you as well. You take that 70, you invest that right back into the house. You improve the flooring, you put that pool in the backyard, you do things that add value to the home, okay? And you will immediately get a bump in value on the home. And by the way, if you're not sure what's a good investment in your home for a return, we've produced many videos on this channel where you can go back and look at the top 10 things you can do to improve the value of your home and reference those, or put a comment down below and we'll answer it and tell you. If you are asking, hey, does it make sense for me to add this feature to my home? We'll tell you, hey, the return on that is 60 cents on the dollar or $1.05 on the dollar. That makes a big difference, right? But you take that 70, you put that back into the value of your home, you pay the home equity loan down as you can, and now you've got your home at the price you wanted. You've got the improvements that you wanted, and
specified to you.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna share with you just a couple of statistics that are put out weekly in our office, and this is as you can see. I'm gonna throw it up there, but this is for Las Vegas, Henderson, and North Las Vegas. These are just a little bit of numbers. The first week of January, we had 470 new listings. The week prior to that, we had 300. The properties that went under contract were 500. And 513 were closed in the last 7 days, a grand total of 1,000. The week before that was 500. Just that little snippet right there. And then,
so what he's saying is we are bringing homes onto the market for sale and selling more than is coming on the market, which means we're seeing inventory declining. Okay, right. So that's a really, really scary situation.
And typically your summer months, so the month that we are in right now typically is the start of the launch pad for the larger advancement in real estate. The later months, they're filled with holidays, and the earlier months typically don't get that much action. But we have seen nothing but an increase, and it's been drastic. So this week right now, we have 847 on the market. Last week was 900, and a combined weekly total of under contract and closed of 1,668. We are outpacing by 2.
Wow.
2. And then not only that, but if you compare 847 to 470, we're seeing more homes on the market every single week, and we are outpacing them. I mean, we went over 50% more in 5 months.
Yeah.
So do the math. As things begin to slowly and pause the video if you want to take a look at these a little bit closer. I'm going to put both of them up for you. And oh yeah, and by the way, Berkshire Hathaway is about $100,000 over your LVR. So all those other boutique realtor, like those people that specialize in certain areas, they're getting less money for your house. So give us a call. But at the same time, you also need to look at what's happening right in front of you. Like, I know it's a lot of numbers, but let me boil it down for you. What's happening is more homes are coming on the market every single week, and we're doubling the sales. If not, 50%, we'll call it 50%. We're outpacing the number of homes that are coming on the market by 50%. What does that do compiled over a period of time? Inventory goes low, and we're constantly struggling. Ever since 2020, we have been struggling with the amount of homes that are on the market, especially in Las Vegas. I know it's a problem across the U.S., but especially in Las Vegas. This is where we have our expertise in. So if you're a Las Vegas homeowner out there, or a person in Las Vegas or in America that are looking to buy a home, what's happening right in front of you is a supply crunch. And what happens, it's just like a short squeeze. Everybody's heard about the big squeeze, and and things like that. What happened with GameStop? This is happening in real estate right now. We are running out of inventory. And the moment that we find ourselves in a low inventory market, people start to charge more for the house because they can. Just like he said, every house that wasn't able to sell 2-3 years ago is now on the market at top dollar.
Yeah, at top dollar.
And what's going to happen in the future when interest rates go to 5%, we're just going to multiply that X factor, and it is going to go gangbusters. So you can either get on the train or possibly become a renter forever. And let me scare you with a little bit of information. We made a video about Wall Street coming for your house, and
Yeah.
you know, whether the validity of that is true or not, that is our opinion. It may be the ramblings of a madman, but at the same time, you have to look at the facts. We're seeing developments, full-on communities that not a single house is for sale. They're all for rent. So now these people with deep pockets, here, rent this forever. You don't get to buy it. You can rent it. And what we're going to do is we're going to crunch the housing supply, and that, call it a conspiracy theory, call it what you want. It's happening. No matter the reason, the why, it's happening right now.
Yeah, you don't have to take Devin's word or mine on that. You can just simply Google, is Wall Street buying my home? And the answer is yes. Wall Street is buying up housing in like we've never seen. We've never experienced this happening before, and it's they're coming in droves. And you, as an individual buyer, don't have a chance against them because they're coming in cash and they're willing to overpay because they understand the market. They understand that the home, if they hold the home 10 years, it's going to do an average appreciation of, I'm going to say 8%, okay? But we could make the argument 6, we could make the argument 10, but I'm going to say an average of 8% a year. So they know if they hold that home 10 years, it will appreciate 80% in value. The income from the tenant will pay the loan carrying costs, and they just get that hit at the end, right? And you don't. So if you want to participate and grow your wealth, nothing in the history of mankind has generated more wealth from day one when man first stepped on this planet. Nothing has generated more wealth than real estate, and I suspect nothing will supplant that ever. Real estate is limited, populations are growing, and it's just getting harder and harder to find. Let me amend that a little bit. Real estate with water is running out. There's a lot of land in the United States of America that you can't really develop because there's no water supply whatsoever, right? Think a lot of parts of mid-Nevada, for example, where we just don't have any water, right? So where you can live and thrive is becoming more and more limited, and it's a great opportunity right now. Be a bit of a contrarian to what you're seeing on the news and the national media, and I just want to make another comment about that. Folks, if you're getting your economic advice and making your financial decisions based on what you're reading in national newspapers, and I'm not mentioning a single brand because I don't want to get a letter telling me to not say their name again. So if you're getting your advice from a national paper, magazine, even many online news providers, or any of the talking heads on TV, folks, you are getting information that is being manipulated. Take a look at the actual data in your marketplace. You can call any realtor in your city and they can provide you with their local MLS data. What Devin's referencing is straight off of our MLS information, okay? And filtered through Berkshire Hathaway just to make sure it's accurate because we double check all of that data before we report it to you, okay? So be looking in the market. And again, I'm going to say, drop a comment down below. It doesn't matter if you're in North Dakota, Pennsylvania, Illinois, wherever you are, drop a comment down below and say, hey, I'm thinking about this, or I have a question about that. We're happy to answer those 100%. Questions and help out because we're not here to make money off you. We're not selling anything. We're not selling, I'm not sitting here selling a product or, oh, by the way, talking about my skincare. Talking to you about things you didn't get taught in high school, things that our government and our system don't teach. But home ownership is the secret to wealth. And the whole idea of it here is to bridge the gap between generations and have conversations. I'm the old school guy, traditional. He's the new guy. He's got new ideas. And the idea here is that we mesh them together and we talk and we find a solution that makes sense no matter your age.
Absolutely. What we're saying is listen up, people. We may not be exactly accurate, but we can see it's the calm before the storm. Things are coming. Prepare yourself. Whether it be prepare yourself to buy within the next 30 to 45 days or the next 30 to 45 months. You need to start taking a real look at the market and start understanding what it looks like to purchase a house or to sell your house, because it's not going to get any easier. It doesn't look like the economy is going to falter or fall apart in the near future. And if that happens, well, call me, tell me I'm an idiot. But at the same time, you need to prepare yourself. You need to start taking accountability and learn to make steps in the right direction, because I was once a layman in real estate myself, and I quickly found out it is one of the easiest loans to get. Name another location that's going to give you a loan for $350,000. Most businesses won't do that unless you have a very good financial background. And a lot of lenders do that because they have something to bump it against. It's an asset worth that much. It's very, very easy with a proper credit score and a proper work history to get a loan for $350,000. And then you're basically using $350,000 a year to gain 4% on that every single year, compounding interest over 30 years by the time you pay for that. And then you have the tax write-offs, and I can go on and on and on. But to start learning these little words, these little hot button items, and prepare yourself. Talk to that realtor, talk to that lender, get yourself prepared to enter the market, because your time is getting slim.
Devin, let's talk. Let's give them real life examples so that our viewers don't think that we're talking about crazy stuff here. You own your home. How old are you?
I am 29.
So he's 29. How long ago did you buy your house?
3 years.
So you've owned your home 3 years. Would you say that your home has appreciated in value?
It has added $100,000 to my net worth in 3 years.
Folks, there it is. If you're in your 20s and you're not listening to this guy, this is his experience. He came out of the military. He did he made the sacrifice and bought the home. I'm sure it didn't feel comfortable. I'm
Absolutely.
sure it was a stretch.
It was May of 2021. And think about that time. I had every single person telling me, don't buy right now. Don't buy right now. Don't buy. Sound familiar?
And you're up $100,000 in 3 years.
In 3 years.
So that house has put $33,000 a year into his net worth, and it's passive. It's over there doing it, and you're not having to work 20 hours a day to support that. Your house is working for you in appreciation, okay? Folks, home ownership is the key. Right now is the time to get your ducks in a row. You have a very limited window. Your compensation can likely not keep up with what's about to happen to housing in America. Here's the thing I want to help you understand.
At the end of the day, people, go get rich. Thank you for watching.
Have a great day.